So other beliefs are family beliefs, things that we learn from our parents, our siblings, such as blood is thicker than water. You always put your family first. We don't believe in school, or we do believe in school, and you have to go to university and you need to get a job. All of those other beliefs, again, so unconscious. They're just working away in the background. They're influencing your thoughts, your decisions, your actions, and you have no idea what's going on. So we also, religious beliefs are very strong as well, and they may not be religious as in, you know, what we think of religion, but your own religion, spirituality, what you believe about life, I guess, if you like, philosophy. But these are just examples of what some of those beliefs may present themselves as. Okay, yeah, all making sense so far? Yeah, good. And then we have our cultural beliefs. And again, super underestimated, super like powerful. Again, just working away in the background. Don't even know that they're there. You know, the whole thing of all the British, they always have a stiff upper lip, you know, no complaining. You just get on with it, push through, don't be emotional.
And tea can fix anything.
Exactly. A cup of tea fixes everything. Yeah.
I'm not a huge tea drinker, and so I have to tell a lot of my English, British friends, you know, I understand that that's how you think it will fix everything, and I appreciate that, but especially on this side of the pond, it's not quite the fix-all that I would like it to be.
Oh, don't worry. Oh, your husband's just left you. Don't go have a cup of tea. You'll be fine. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so how do we identify these core beliefs, these primary beliefs? How do we get to the real cause of these negative beliefs that we have, or these negative habits that we have? So we can use the goal process for that. And it's quite simple. You create a heading, you make a list, you link the list, you map the list, and from mapping the list, you'll be able to then identify the primary beliefs or the core beliefs, and see the pattern of what happens in your mind and how it happens. So, examples of headings.
Can I ask a question, Charlotte?
Yeah, sure.
Can you go back a thing? Are you going to explain a little bit more about primary, secondary? Okay, because I'm a little confused on that. But if you're going to go into more detail later, I'll hold my question till then if I need it.
Yeah, okay. I think once we have a diagram, then I think it'll probably make more sense. Yeah, sure. All right. So, and you might want to do this now. Have a go at this now, if you don't mind. Example heading, something to work on a belief. Something negative. Maybe you've got something negative already, or perhaps do if you don't know. If you don't know what your negative beliefs are, if you don't have an idea already, I am is a great heading to start with. A lot of people have money blocks. They like to have money, work on their money. Success is another one. Being good enough or fear of failure, those are popular ones. So if you guys could think of one that you would like to work on, or if you're struggling to find where to start, I am is a good place to start. And then what we're going to do is, with that heading that you choose, have you both got a heading? Yeah, cool. With that heading, we're going to make a list, okay, of everything that comes to mind to do with that heading. So, and actually things might come to your mind that you feel aren't related. Just write them down anyway. Our minds work in mysterious ways, so it's always good not to discount anything. But we want positive things, we want negative things, we want indifferent things. You can use just words, you can use feelings. If you can get some feelings in there as well, that's great. Any physiological sensations, that's also really useful to put in there. You can put sentences in there as well, doesn't have to be one word, but just take a few minutes to just write down as much as you can. And if it's longer than this, perfect.
Charlotte, can I interject?
Sure.
Normally I'm in the background, but I'm at a spot where I don't have a lot of background noise right now. So one of the things I wanted to ask, or maybe have you unpack a little bit as you're getting into this part, you were talking about the different influences on, I guess, belief systems, if I'm understanding that properly.
Yes.
I've heard some people talk about belief systems as kind of like the operating system for a computer.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk like is it necessary to understand your operating system? Do you have to deconstruct that in order to be able to make progress with the headings that you're talking about? And is there another word that you would use to describe heading? Like it seems like you say heading, but I'm reading it as identity statement. So I don't know if I'm interpreting that right.
Yeah, I have put it that way, but it doesn't have to be. It could be something else. Oh God, typical now, I can't think of something. But yeah, it could be something just emotional, like anger or anxiety.
So you're talking about an emotional state of being versus an identity statement, which is I am a mother, I'm a father, So you're saying that that the expressive statement about where you are, whether that's physiologically, emotionally, intellectually, that's separate and distinct from the operating system, but they both seem to be anchor points. So I guess I don't know if I'm linking this right.
Yeah, no, I totally understand your question. So they're all the operating system. Yeah, that's a great way to describe it. Your belief systems drive your thoughts, your decisions, your actions. And we want that actually to be unconscious. Because it is unconscious, it allows us to experience what we are experiencing in the moment. The operating system includes not only what's going on in the brain, but also what's going on in the body. So they go hand in hand together. They don't always work well together, but they do. If something happens in the brain, something happens in the body. If something happens in the body, something happens in the brain. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think I'm following what you're saying. So I guess my question is, if you have unconscious operating system or unconscious belief systems or unconscious things that are driving your behavior, am I understanding that the things that you're feeling, like where you're at in terms of your statements of being, whether that's emotionally, intellectually, verbally, whatever. I don't know if I'm following my own train of thought here. Is it possible to have those belief systems be unconscious or not really well understood to you, and you be able to make change, or maybe I'm skipping ahead in your presentation?
No. That's a good question. It's a good question. Some people will say yes. However, I think that for me personally, the more permanent and natural change that I see with my clients is when there is some conscious connection. So you could go deep into belief systems, and you can, like, a lot of hypnotists will work on a very deep level, where you'll come out of it and you maybe really don't really know what's going on, because the unconscious mind can work a lot with metaphors. Metaphors are great for the unconscious mind. So you may not fully understand, and you will suddenly see some changes going on. However, I think the more powerful changes come when there is some conscious awareness and some conscious understanding of what's gone on. The same as in a traumatic event, you don't really understand what's happened quite often at the time. That's why things get stuck. And so they keep repeating and replaying themselves, because it's a process that the mind and the body is saying, like, hey, something's gone wrong here. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, that absolutely makes sense. I'm sorry, I muted myself. I apologize. I'm nodding in affirmation. You can't see me or hear me.
Okay, cool. Great questions. Please, like, do make me unpick it more if I'm not unpicking it enough, because for me, I've explained it so many times that I don't know what's clear and what isn't anymore. So, yeah, and so, like, for example, in this list, for example, anger, there's some physiological stuff in there, like heat, tension, rush of energy, and then there's some little things like dad always shouting, or maybe it'll just say shouting. Maybe you can't pinpoint it to one person, but just anything that is associated with anger. And just, you want to write down as much as you can. And you'll see, as I show you more examples of different lists further down the line, that they can be really long. They can be really long. Really, you want a minimum. This would be the minimum to be able to then link the list well. Cool. So,
Yeah, that's very helpful. That makes sense.
Okay, cool. And have you been furiously writing away and making your lists? Good. So now we move on to the linking. So again, at the moment, this may not seem very clear, and that's okay. It will become clearer. So linking the list, what we're going to do is we're going to start from the top. So anger was the heading and heat is the first thing. So we're going to go through the rest of the list and say, okay, heat, go through the rest of the list. I don't know why shaking is standing out the most. So I'm going to put the F up next to the A. And then I'm going to go to the next one. Okay, anger, rush of energy. Let me go through the list. I feel like it connects with this one. Okay, and it can only connect with one. So there's only ever one letter on the right-hand side. And just go through each one on the list. Yeah? And you don't need to think about it. You don't need to analyze it. The faster you do it, the better. So do you guys want to do that now?
Can you remind me what the FIG stands for? How we're
On the right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So heat is on the first one on the list. I go through the rest of the list and I think, I think it links to shaking. So F is shaking. So I'm going to put F up there.
I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Then I'll go to the next one, rush of energy. I start from the top again and work my way down. And okay, I want to cry. I feel like that rush of energy, I want to cry. So I'm going to put I, because I want to cry.